The year is 2026, and I never thought I would stumble upon something as rare as this. 8 pickup trucks, all of them 6x6, sitting in a forgotten lot just outside of town. The dust had settled thickly on their frames, and vines had begun creeping up the tires. It was as if they had been waiting for someone to find them. Someone like me. I had been driving down an old back road, one I hadn't traveled in years. It was the kind of road where you expected to find little more than rusted-out sedans and the occasional abandoned gas station. But then I saw them, parked in a neat row, too pristine to be junk and too forgotten to be in use. Curiosity got the better of me, and I pulled over. Each truck was different, a mix of manufacturers and custom builds. The first one I approached had an all-black paint job, though time and exposure had dulled its once glossy finish. I brushed a hand over the hood, and a layer of dust came away easily. The tires were massive, clearly built for something more than casual off-roading. A closer look inside revealed an interior that was nearly immaculate, untouched by time or weather. The keys were still in the ignition. I moved to the next truck. This one had a deep red body with a matte finish, the kind that absorbed light rather than reflecting it. Its bed was lined with heavy-duty steel, as though it had been designed to carry more than just cargo. Again, the keys sat in the ignition, waiting. A strange feeling settled in my gut. Who leaves 8 fully functional 6x6 trucks in the middle of nowhere? Why were they here, untouched? I decided to investigate further, stepping back to take in the scene. The lot itself was cracked with age, weeds sprouting through the asphalt. There were no signs, no fences, nothing to indicate ownership. It was like a ghost town for vehicles, a mechanical graveyard without the decay. I circled around the third truck, a beast of a machine with an extended cab and a reinforced grille. The branding had been scratched away, replaced with a simple emblem of a wolf's head. It didn't match any company logo I recognized. The moment I opened the door, I felt a shift in the air. The scent of leather and oil was still fresh, as if someone had just been inside. I hesitated before sliding into the driver's seat. The engine purred to life the second I turned the key. I expected dust to billow from the vents, for the radio to crackle with age. But everything was pristine. The gauges glowed, the fuel tank was full, and the odometer read only a few hundred miles. I turned it off quickly, unnerved by how well preserved it was. This was no ordinary find. Something wasn't right. Trucks like these didn't just appear. Someone had left them here, and I had a feeling they hadn't been abandoned by accident. I continued inspecting the rest of them. A silver one with military-grade tires, a dark blue one with tinted windows so black I couldn't see inside, a camo-painted truck with a reinforced frame that suggested armor plating. Each one told a story, but none of them gave me answers. We checked my phone, but there was no signal. Figures. A place like this wasn't meant to be found easily. The silence around me felt heavier, pressing in as I moved from truck to truck. I glanced toward the road, half expecting someone to appear, someone to claim these machines, but there was no one. Then I saw something strange. Near the last truck, half buried under dirt and leaves, was a metal case. It looked like it had been left there intentionally, partially concealed but not fully hidden. My pulse quickened as I reached down to pull it free. The latches were heavy-duty, the kind you'd find on military storage containers. I hesitated for a moment before flipping them open. Inside, there were papers, schematics, engine specifications, and what looked like handwritten notes. Each document referenced something called Project Fenrir. My heart pounded. I had never heard of it, but the name alone sent a chill down my spine. Was this some government project? A secret prototype fleet? And why were they just sitting here, waiting? I heard something then. A low rumble in the distance. Not thunder, engines. More than one. I looked around, my mind racing. If someone was coming back for these trucks, I wasn't sure I wanted to be around to ask questions, but at the same time, I couldn't just walk away. I grabbed a handful of documents from the case and stuffed them into my jacket. Then, making a split-second decision, I jumped into the nearest truck and turned the key. The engine roared to life, smoother than I expected. I gripped the wheel tightly as I put it into gear, my eyes flicking to the road. Dust clouds were kicking up in the distance. Whoever they were coming fast. I floored it. The truck responded instantly, the massive tires gripping the cracked pavement with ease. As I sped toward the main road, I risked one last glance in the rearview mirror. The other trucks remained where they were, lined up like